If you're looking for a 7-foot center that can do it all in NBA 2K25, then you've clicked on the right video. Every year, we drop our Anchor Popper build, and this might be the best one yet. With the ability to get Legend Rebound Chaser and Legend High Flying Denier, this build is a menace on the defensive end. It's quick for a 7-foot build and specializes in anchoring the interior while being able to stretch the floor efficiently. The offensive capabilities allow you to score at all 3 levels, and this build maximizes nearly every threshold and does everything you need a center to do at a high level. Now, I'm going to go through each attribute to give a better idea of the build I made, and as always, we encourage you guys to tweak the build to your playstyle. But without further ado, let's get right into it. For our vitals, we have 7 feet for the height, 240 pounds, and 7'5" for the wingspan. Starting with finishing, I wanted a few things here. The first was an 81 standing dunk. This is not only going to give us big man contact dunks, but we also get silver rise up with the correct vertical requirement. An 81 standing dunk has been working wonders for me, and for the value, I highly recommend it. Standing dunks still work well this year in NBA 2K25, but standing dunk meters have definitely seen a nerf from last year, and for that reason, I went with an 81. For driving dunk, we have a 70, which is another great value by unlocking pro alley-oops, flashy dunks, and the cat dunk package. The cat package lets you take off from pretty far out, and it's a great value for big men. The rest of the finishing attributes were mostly tethered by other attributes, so we have an 80 close shot, 50 layup, and then we put one more on the post control for bronze post fade phenom. These finishing thresholds provide some serious value, allowing us to fill out the rest of our build. For shooting, I maxed out the 3-point rating and went with that 7'5" wingspan to unlock silver deadeye with an 85 mid-range. Not to mention that 85 mid-range will also unlock Chris Bosh base and a lot of other highly graded bases. I've been finding a good amount of success with this shooting threshold for not only spotting up, but oftentimes I'll take advantage of that mid-range area with dribble pull-ups and spin jumpers, catching slower centers off guard for easy uncontested buckets. Then lastly, we have a 77 free throw, which has been hitting lights out for me, and it's more than enough. Moving on to playmaking, I only increased one attribute here, and as a center tasked with being able to dominate the glass, I wanted to be able to throw solid break passes for easy buckets in transition. Now, I understand passing lanes are cracked out right now, but that's even more reason to invest in a higher pass accuracy. So I personally went with an 87 for gold break starter, and I find this to be a good value spot for effective and quick passes. This also gives you a good amount of pass styles to choose from. I didn't touch ball handle or speed with ball, but if you wanted to, a 40 speed with ball is a decent value option if you wanted to upgrade your dribble style. Now for defense, I went with an 82 interior defense, and this is a solid value spot for silver post lockdown. I wouldn't mind having more interior this year in NBA 2K25, but this threshold worked well for the most part. I unfortunately didn't touch perimeter, but that's not a huge issue considering I'll be dropping in coverage most of the time. I've still been able to block shots on the perimeter, so it's not like I'm missing out on too much. Next, we went with a 60 steal for bronze interceptor, which is going to help with those OP lane steals. It doesn't cost much, and it's 100% worth the investment. And then finally, we have a 93 block for gold paint patroller. 93 block feels great this year, and gold paint patroller feels like a significant upgrade over the silver level. We haven't got to the physicals yet, but I did give this build an 83 vertical to get Hall of Fame high flying denier. Now this particular badge is tier 2 for all heights, so I'm going to boost it to legend with my tier 2 max +1 badge perk. Legend high flying denier has been pretty insane for me at times, and it doesn't only activate on chase downs either. As I mentioned, I've been getting blocks on the perimeter as well. Now when it comes to rebounding, I had to make sure this build can dominate the glass, so we have a 96 offensive rebound for Hall of Fame rebound chaser. This build is great when it comes to providing second opportunities for your team. Now the defensive rebound is only an 81 by default, but with the proper badges and vertical and positioning, I haven't had any issues securing the glass and throwing these breaks. And then lastly, we have our physicals, and this is a big part of how I wanted to make my 7-foot build. I wanted to make sure my build was quick for its height, so we went with a 71 speed and 60 agility, an 89 strength for Hall of Fame box out beast, and as I mentioned earlier, an 83 vertical for Hall of Fame high flying denier. And if I could make this build again, I wouldn't change much honestly, but it would be nice to have gold brick wall with 91 strength, especially if you plan on setting a lot of screens, but I do be spacing it out, so it's not that big of a deal. Now this is my build, and if you're looking for a center that can do everything, this build is a great place to start. Now thank you all for watching. It's been Spill, and I'm out. Later.